Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrea and this is Beauty with Andy. So today I didn't really expect to do this video because I had quite a clear kind of perception of this palette already. But just let me tell you what happened. So this is the Kylie eyeshadow burgundy palette and I used it yesterday in a chopping block, whether I'm going to keep it or whether I will declutter it. And it worked out for the most part pretty worked out pretty well on the eyeshadows that I used. I did 3 looks 1 palette with it. So I'll just go into the shades that I used and then I'll do some swatches. Actually, you've probably seen this 1,000 times all over YouTube when it was first released. But I'm not happy with a couple of the shades. So we've got these neutral shades and the shimmer shade here at the top. Now they seem to perform okay. They're not the smoothest, butteriest eyeshadows you'll ever get, but they're okay. It's when it comes to these two really, especially this one, you can see just how dry it is in the pan there. But I really didn't think about it, and then, you know, I used it for the 3rd look. And yeah, it was just really dry. I noticed it going really patchy. Like a couple of hours after I did the eyeshadow look, I noticed it going really patchy. Like up here where the eyeshadow crease is, there was absolutely no eyeshadow, so that had flaked away. And I just thought, how odd, no eyeshadow has ever done that to me. But when I put, where are you? When I put this shade on, if you recall, if you've seen that video, if you haven't, I will link it here because that video will go up first. In fact, that's in the process of going up now. Should have gone up this afternoon at some point, but my computer and broadband are making life difficult for me. You know how it is, guys. As creators, we have nightmares putting our videos out there. Anyway, this shade here, which is Penny, gave me quite a hard time with one eye. One eye was fine, like, but then when I came to put this all over the lid and into the crease, it went patchy on me, so I had to build up the shade, which I didn't again think anything about it, but I just feel like a couple of the shades are really gritty and horrible and patchy. So now I really don't know whether I'm going to keep it. I know I said that I was going to keep it in the chopping block video, and I was quite happy with the shadows, and all I wanted to do is try this shade here, which is LA. But I'm really not sure whether I want to keep it in the collection now, guys. I certainly don't want to be putting patchy eyeshadow on me. So let's just do some swatches and I'll show you what I mean if I can. Right, so this one is Naked. So that's the shimmer. And I'm not really a lover of this, to be honest. Just build it up, because I'd prefer a lighter shimmer for me in a corner. Right, and then we're going to go in with Beach, which is okay. That's what it looks like. It's okay, it's not patchy, it can blend out really well. It's a really nice transition shade. And then this one here is a problem that I had with one of them, and that's Penny, and that seems a little bit like, I don't know, it's not as bad as the burgundy shade, but it is still quite gritty and patchy. So that's what they look like. That's the first 3 off the top row. So now we're going to go into the middle row, and I'm hoping that the burgundy shade will show you how really bad it is. But obviously I should have come on camera and shown you. I'm not going to put it back on my eyes. So this one here is LA. Let's make sure my hand's dry. And I'm going to wear this today. I'm going to do a look on camera. That looks really pretty. Then we've got Burgundy, which I would say is the worst eyeshadow in the palette for sure. Oh, it's so dry and gritty. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be using that again, whether I decide to keep it. I'm blending it out, but you can see the fallout. Let me do another swatch and not blend it out. So let me take that off. I mean, I know reds and burgundies are some of the hardest eyeshadows to make, but obviously it's just so dry. It's so much drier than the rest of the mattes in the eyeshadow palette. So let's go back into it. Right, so that's what it looks like on the finger. Very, very pigmented. If it was smoother, you know, it would be so much better. Right, that's what it looks like on the arm. I mean, you can see the fallout here. I don't have a problem with fallout, guys. You know, I mean, you expect fallout with a dark eyeshadow like that, but it's when it goes on the lids and when it's like kind of like disappearing in some areas. I just didn't like it. I just couldn't believe it when I looked in the mirror only about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and I'm like, where's all my eyeshadow gone? But yeah, that's that one. And then we've got Dubai, this one here. Again, it's quite dry, but not as dry as Burgundy. So that's them three from the middle row. That definitely is my favourite shade from the middle row. I mean, typically I wouldn't use Burgundy eyeshadow anyway, so if it's just a Burgundy eyeshadow that's performing like that, I will keep the palette. It's not a very good eyeshadow, that's all. And for the price that I paid for the palette, it's a little bit disappointing. Right, so now we're going to go in with Brick, this one here. And again, this isn't like Burgundy, so that's like that. Then we're going to go in with New York. It's quite dry for a shimmer, so that looks like that. Very pretty shade though. And then the last one is Almond. Yeah, it's literally just that Burgundy shade, so I think we will keep the palette. But I did want to mention it on camera, my experience of that particular shade. If you've got this palette, did you notice the same thing? I've only noticed it now because I've been playing with it yesterday and like doing the 3 looks 1 palette. And to be honest, I'm not a Burgundy lover when it comes to eyeshadows, so I probably never used it before. But obviously yesterday when I did my eyeshadows, I noticed that happened. It disappeared in places and it looked really, really patchy and gritty. And it was just a hot mess is what it was. So we're going to do a final look with this palette, just sticking to the neutrals. Right, let's get some brushes. So let's get into it. So we're going to stick to these neutral shades here. So we'll do that one and that one, and then the bronze all over the lid. Something, you know, very, very neutral. Let me just get my mirror that I use. I've already put down the white chocolate shade from the Too Faced palette just because we don't have that in this palette. So I'm just going to get into this now. Beach shade. See, this one blends out really, really well. And when I put the Burgundy down, I put it down in such a small area, I didn't really notice. So I put it down here and then blended it into about halfway the crease. So yeah, I didn't really notice how patchy and kind of disgusting it was. Quite harsh words, I know, but it's fact. I really don't like it. I'm not going to get rid of the palette just for one eyeshadow that I don't like though. The other 8 eyeshadows are quite nice. So let's blend them out. So guys, I've changed my vanity around again. We've gone back to the old way of storing my everyday makeup. Do you know, in my drawer on my vanity. If you've watched some of the older Shop My Stash videos, the acrylics were just too big and bulky, and I just thought to myself, well, they look a bit of a mess on the vanity. I want as much room on that table as I can potentially get because I blog as well, so I do need the table for that. So I've kind of made it look nice, or as nice No, it is nice, I like it. You'll get to see it on Monday when I do another Shop My Stash. I've just put a reorganisation of my makeup collection, so I don't really want to do another one. So I'll just show you when I do my Shop My Stash. And you can let me know your thoughts. Right, got brushes everywhere. I just need to go into that white chocolate shade. And then we're going to go into that darker like orange shade, which did go patchy on me yesterday. I'm not going to take it right into the crease. I'm just going to start off in the outer V. What shade is it? Penny. I'm just going to start off in the outer V, and then I'm going to take it like halfway through the crease like I did with the burgundy shade yesterday. Just to deepen out really the outer V. And then do a bit of blending. Right, and then we're going to go in with LA, I think it's called, yeah, that one there. Looks really, really pretty. So as always, I'm going to go in with my finger, I think. And I don't think I'm going to be using that naked shade. Just because I used it yesterday in all the 3 looks. So I don't think you need to see what it looks like. And I don't really like the way it looks, if I'm being completely honest. I love that shimmer though there. That's pretty. But I've got a ton of eyeshadows that shade, so I wouldn't necessarily need to keep the eyeshadow palette for that shade. But for now I'm keeping hold of it. I might decide to declutter it at a later date. I think I'm just keeping hold of it purely for the price that I paid for it. And I've not had near enough use out of it either. So yeah, I just want to get a little bit more use before I let go of it. Right, so for highlighters, I want to see if I want to keep this. I used it on my face the other day. I wasn't that impressed with it. Excuse me. And this is what it looks like. So let's use that in the inner corner. I think it's because it's like a duochrome highlight. I don't really get on with the duochrome highlighters that well. I like the BH Cosmetics ones that are in my palette that I have, but I don't know whether I like this one. I want to give it a chance before I declutter it. Mascara. For eyeliner, I'm just going to be using these 2 shades again. And I'm going to use this Zoeva brow line brush. It's a 322 brow line by Zoeva. Excuse me. I've not used this in so long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into the darker shade first, and then I'm going to dip into that shade. See how this turns out. Tickling me eye a little bit. Right, let's go in again. It's not pigmented enough. And for a higher end palette, these eyeshadows have quite a lot of fallout, guys. I'd love to know what your experience is with these palettes. But these are her older formula as well, don't forget. I mean, she has brought out a lot more palettes since she brought out these. This was a second palette, I believe, that she brought out. She brought out that bronze one first, which I thought I bought, but it turned out to be a fake. I did use it the one time for a video, so I'll leave that here if you want to go and watch it. And then I just decluttered it. And then we're going to be using this 3D Lash Effect Mascara by Primark. It's the only one I've got to use. I do like this look, but I like the burgundy one yesterday, and at the end it was like, oh my god, look at the state of your eyes, Andrea. Right, I don't know when that stopped recording or why. The battery's quite full, it's not flashing at me. So I was just saying I really do like this look. Do with a bit of blending on that side. Yeah, I do like it, but yesterday I said the same thing about the burgundy look. I said that I liked it, but then it started going all patchy and like kind of gross on me. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm not going to edit this video until a few hours. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to see how the eyeshadow wears, and then yeah, I'll let you know my thoughts on it. I'll let you know for sure if I'm keeping the palette. I did want to wear Max Velvet Teddy with this today, but I think I'm going to use this one. I've only used it once this month. It's quite warm and it's going to look quite autumnal rather than like spring, but I don't care. I want to get a little bit more use out of it. I've not had that much use out of it since I bought it. So this is part of the Maybelline and Puma line that they did when they collaborated, and then this one is in the shade Unapologetic. It's in 09. So this is the only like Superstay matte ink I've got. There's loads of ones that I am interested in buying. I mean, it's not the cheapest drugstore one in my opinion. They're like £10, but you know, they are really, really pretty and they do stay on the lips quite well. Right guys, so this is what the final look looks like. Like I said, it's looking really, really autumnal slash winter. It's not looking at all spring, summer, but there'll be plenty of those looks on the channel. I really did want to test this palette out. It really is a beautiful palette, but this shade here is really, really disappointing. I need to test that shade out at a later date as well. Probably sometime in the week, and then I can give you my true thoughts on it on Monday when I go through all my Shop My Stash products. But yeah, it gets grubby really easily as well, which isn't the best. But other than that, it is a really, really nice palette. And I'll just stay away from the burgundy shade. It's no big deal, no dramas. So yeah, we'll see how we get on with this. So watch this space for any news on this palette to see whether I'm going to keep or declutter it. Thank you so much for watching today. It really does mean the world to me. If you've not already subscribed and become part of my little fam over here on YouTube, please click that subscribe button down below and click the notifications bell to see future videos from me. And yes, I will see you in my next one. Bye guys. Right, so this is just a quick check-in before I take all this makeup off. So I said I'd come back to report back on the Kylie Burgundy palette. Right, so I didn't think it would do what the burgundy shade had done, but it has. Yeah, it's smeared quite a bit. Not as bad as the burgundy shade, I will give it that. It's only been on like 4 or 5 hours though, the makeup. Can you see up at the top there how it's all like come away here? It's very, very smooth, whereas the burgundy shade was very, very dry, so I don't mind that. But my eyes have been watering today, so it could be a case of that. Yesterday they weren't watering that much, so I don't know what went on with that burgundy shade. And then again there up at the top there, it's come away. So I'm going to keep the palette for the time being and just test it. But if I'm really not happy with it, I'll just get rid of it. It's a shame really because I've not used it that much, and it does have some quite nice shades in here. Obviously I won't be using that. I do need to test Dubai again just to see if that's not a great formula, but yeah, other than that I was happy with the other eyeshadows, but none of my other eyeshadows in my collection actually do that. But as I said, you know, I might try a different palette tomorrow and see if it's doing the same thing. If it is, it's a case of my eyes watering at the minute. It's hay fever season and I get really bad hay fever. They have been streaming a bit, but that could also be tiredness because I haven't. Last night I got about 2 hours sleep all night, so obviously my eyes are streaming because of that, and also hay fever. But yeah, this is what the makeup is looking like. Not as good as it was before, so I just thought I would come back and show you, and yeah, I'll see you next time guys. Bye.